self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists.
What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am Calamity Red.
We are Conversation Con Artists, back for another wonderful, fantastic episode. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Mr. MISTER_on point.
And I can be found at Red_Calamity. We are switching things up today, and we are going to do news first because we never get the news.
We don't get the news, so yeah, we need to do that. After news, then we'll do the listener letter. Wait, we need to do poetry.
Yeah.
We're going to do poetry, then we're going to do what? We're going to do news, then poetry?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do news. What's going on in these streets?
I don't have a lot. Let me just say this. I don't, I just turned 36. So I have accepted that a lot of this new music is not for me. It wasn't made for me. It wasn't made for me and mine. So it's whatever. So like, I don't really give a shit about the music. NBA YoungBoy as a person though is trash to me. And he is only like 21 years old and got like 7 baby mamas. And I'm just confuzzled. I'm just confuzzled.
Is that a word?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna Google it.
I just made it up. But it's like so one of the girls just had a baby. Yaya Mayweather's due soon. And then he already had like 5 kids. Like that's fucking ridiculous. Like at 21. That's just it's too much. And these polo girls who
Red, you're gonna love this.
What?
I'm sorry. First off, according to Merriam-Webster, confuzzled is a word. It's simultaneously confused and puzzled. But in the UK, confuzzled is the United Kingdom's largest furry convention.
Oh shit. I'm not confuzzled. And take that shit back.
You ain't got no fuzzy? You're not into anthropomorphics?
No, I'm not. I take it back. I'm not confuzzled. I'm confused and puzzled separately.
Okay, you can continue. You're saying these young girls something.
Oh, it's just these young girls that keep doing this is just fucking sad because like it's not even like it's the same way I feel about Future. They trash people. And don't give me they got money. It's other niggas with money that they could be fucking that ain't these 2 raggedy motherfuckers. Like if your goal is to be a gold digger and you want to just like have a baby with somebody with money, if you want to do what 50 Cent said and have a baby by me and be a millionaire, if that's your goal, why would you do it with somebody who gonna whoop your ass? Or Future don't whoop bitches' asses, I don't think. But he is verbally and emotionally abusive, it seems like, to the women in his life and that he has babies with. And I don't understand. Like, every time I see some shit about NBA YoungBoy, it just gives me a headache. Again, really don't know none of his music because his music's not made for me. I don't really give a fuck about his music. But him being a trash-ass human being is just, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Women love that boy.
Why?
I don't know. He look weird. He's abusive.
I don't get it.
I don't know, man. Generational shit. Hell, Master P looks stupid as hell to me too. Master P looked like an old man when he was a young man.
He did.
He looked like an old ass uncle his whole life. He probably was born looking like an old ass uncle. So, I mean, money speaks volumes, man. Maybe some women would rather get pregnant by a dude that they know ain't gonna be there, so they can get that money and not have to deal with his ass, live their regular ass life.
Yeah, but are you
passive income?
Yeah, but I feel like NBA YoungBoy the kind of nigga that wouldn't give you no money when he get in his feelings and get mad at you. So like, you're not even guaranteed because he don't give a fuck about child support orders and shit. Like, he ain't that kind of dude.
I don't know. He should be because you can get your ass sent to jail not paying that shit.
Yeah, bet you go to jail for whooping bitches' asses on camera. He do that though.
Well, I'm saying, I imagine that he's into some other shit that going to jail for something like not paying child support would be a problem for somebody like him.
I guess. I don't know. It's just, I'm just tired of it. Y'all Mayweather that stabbed the bitch and shit. Like, she didn't about ruin her whole life. And I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like I said, I could see if he was smooth or some shit. Like I could see if it was like Drake seemed like he emotional and shit, but he seemed like he could talk a good game. Right. But like NBA YoungBoy is just an abusive asshole. Like, what are you getting out of this?
I don't know, man. I think women that engage with men like that have this idea that he's not gonna do this to me, or that other woman must have fucked up somehow, and so they go in and thinking that they'll never be, treated the way that they are treated. I don't know. I mean, he probably talk a real good game at the beginning until you do something that he don't like.
But I'm
And
saying,
by good game, clearly that just means good game in the sense of good game for the people that it's for, not for anybody.
your camera froze. I'm sorry. My arm was tired.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't hold my arm up no more. I mean, but talk a good game when you see in the media all this like horrific shit that he do to the women in his life. It's like, ain't nothing you can say to me after I see that video where he like boxed that girl out, that very first girl in that hotel. Like, ain't nothing you can say to me, nigga. Ain't nothing you gonna be able to say to me that's gonna erase the idea. Because it, even if I felt like she may have been slick at the mouth, hell, I'm slick at the mouth. So that don't bode well for me.
You're also reasonable. You're also a reasonable person. Like, there are women out here who understand that abuse happens and believe that it's always going to happen and think that they are the reason that these things happen when they happen. Like, and then there's some women who believe that if your man ain't hitting you, that he don't care about you. So this NBA YoungBoy is for who he is for. That is by far not everybody. And, these women gonna have the life they have. Like I said, I guess the best case scenario is him just, giving them a baby, giving them some money, and leaving them alone. It's not worth it to have all these kids not paying child support for it, potentially be doing some shenanigans out in the streets and have a warrant out for your arrest for child support. That's like,
I mean, Future ain't wanting to pay money. Future talking about he ain't got no money and he live in a 2-bedroom apartment and shit with his latest child support case. Like,
Adrian Brunner did that too.
It's like,
Adrian Brunner,
the boxer.
Yeah, boxer. He had $270,000 in a backpack in a casino. A waitress picked it up to move it, and he grabbed her, and they say she choked her. Said, "Where that bag at?" And she was just moving it so she could put drinks down, apparently. And she filed assault charges on him. He got kicked out of the casino. He can't go back to the casino. And when the judge asked him why he hadn't paid, they filed a civil suit. He didn't come or show up, so they awarded her $800,000. When it was time for him to pay it, he told the judge that he only had $13 to his name. So he had to come back to court because his Instagram video showed him with tons of money just flexing. And then the judge said, "You said you had $13." He told the judge that's all his friends' money. That ain't his money. So the judge put him in jail.
Good. He should have.
He out now, but the judge put him in jail because it was like, while you got this shit going on, it's stupid to flex other people's money like it's yours. But it's his. He just don't want to pay that shit. And he a horrible liar. That's my friend's money, Judge.
But I feel like that's the same thing Future doing. Future don't want to pay no more money because he already paying out money. Like, stop fucking bitches raw. Stop having babies. Like, it's really that simple. Like, it really is. It is not rocket science. It is not this difficult thing that can't be managed.
But I'm Future. But I'm NBA YoungBoy. I don't gotta fuck raw.
Okay.
I mean, I don't gotta fuck with condoms.
All
I
right.
can fuck raw.
And you can pay this money or go to jail.
I
That's
got
just
it.
what it is.
I ain't hurting. I'd rather shoot the club up and pay for these babies than to be fucking through plastic.
Irrational. That is so irrational.
They live a whole irrational life. They live by street codes and shit. Street codes, all that shit is unreasonable. It's stupid.
Oh my God.
You know, like if I had kids and me and my woman didn't work out and she had the kids and she found a fucking Russell Wilson, nigga, I'd be praising God. I wouldn't be on some shit he on. He just on this idea that I don't want another man around my kid, period. What the fuck your women are going, what do you expect your women to do? Just be alone without you because they had your baby? That's street code shit. That's like toxic masculinity and inflated ego. That's all of that shit bundled up. That's all stupid. They live by stupid codes, so it's not surprising that using protection is a part of that code, or not wanting to use it is a part of that code.
But then complaining about the consequences of that action, like you didn't see this happen 7 other times. Like you know what happens when you fuck raw. Like you know you've seen this with your own two peepers.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can't then get mad like another baby. Yeah, nigga, another baby. That's what happens. 2 + 2 is 4.
Maybe they're trying to have a lot of kids. You know, men do that all the time. There's some men who just go try to get as many women pregnant as they can.
That's sad. Either way, they both trash. They trash regardless of whatever their motives are.
Straight trash can juice.
Trash ass human beings. But I just had to mention that because I saw the other girl had a baby. And I'm like, I knew Yaya was pregnant. I didn't know he had somebody else. All these hood twins. You know what a hood twin is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
Hood twins.
I don't even think they trash. I think that they, you know, when you take out the trash and then you realize that that juice is leaking all over the ground and all over your shoe, that's they are that. They are the trash can juice. It's a whole culmination of all the worst parts of the trash. All at the very bottom of the bag, and it has started to decompose onto your floor. That's horrible. Maybe they can be better one day. Maybe they'll change.
I mean,
I be watching Vlad TV. All these rappers be changing when they get older. Most of them.
Yeah, but at that point, the damage has been done. Like, imagine the damage that's gonna be done to all of these kids. By the time these rappers get older, the kids gonna be grown. It's gonna be like a bunch of little other trash ass people continuing the cycle.
It depends on how their mama is.
I mean, the mamas are the kind of women that fuck with a nigga with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids and think she gonna be different. So I don't know what.
I mean, to their credit, they also fuck with a nigga that got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $10 million in the bank account. You
can do that with niggas that don't have all them kids, though. No, that's not.
What?
That's still bad decision making. It's plenty of rich men that don't got 5, 6, 7 kids by 5, 6, 7 women. If my goal is to secure the bag using somebody, it makes more sense for me to secure a bag with somebody with less kids. It's less money going out. But if I get with somebody who got all these damn children by all these damn different women,
ma'am. So it's not easier. It's much easier to get a dude who clap cheeks indiscriminately than it is for the man who has been conscious about not letting off in a woman. Like,
I'm saying,
if a rich man that don't get you pregnant just have sex with you, you have nothing to show for it. If he don't get you pregnant, like if their goal is to get pregnant by somebody rich, it is by the one who don't have no fucking discernment. That's they doing it right if that's their goal.
Well, but
go find NBA YoungBoy. Go find Future. Go find Shawty Low. Go find all of them men that got a bunch of kids. That's who you find.
You got Future not even. You had his baby. He don't even want to pay you. Like you got now. You in the same position that you was in plus got a kid that you got to take care of, and in and out of court with this nigga who talking about he can't pay you because he ain't got no money. So you still lost. That you didn't win in that because he do got money, but you ain't got his money.
Well, I have to know definitely that he's not paying any of these women for me to, get to that argument because, like I said, these niggas are not trying to risk jail by not paying this money that they owe. It's only so many times Future gonna be able to release an album. I mean, probation officer, whoever in charge of that court stuff, gonna search what his net worth is and be like, hey, say you worth $50 million right now. You gotta pay some of this money. But for me to jump onto your dialogue, I have to know that he ain't paying them.
I don't think he's not paying everybody, but I think that all the new women coming on board the Future train, you ain't getting no money. Like, cause this
not right away. At some point they will. Once the baby is determined to be his, he gonna risk jail time if he don't pay for that child's lifestyle.
But that he doing that right now. The child has been determined that it's his, and he's saying he ain't got no money.
It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before that shit gonna bite him in his asshole. It's ridiculous.
It's just dumb all around. But that's all I have for that. I just
all right.
Like I needed to mention how fucking trash some of these people are.
So, Joe Biden is going to request mask wearing for his first 100 days in office. What do you think that's going to look like?
What do you mean?
I think that he's framing this in a very light way, but I feel like he's going to shut this bitch down. That's what I think.
Oh, yeah. I think we definitely headed for a shutdown.
Everybody already done requested for masks to be worn, and look where we at when numbers fucking going up by the pound.
Let me say this. And I think I said this on the show before, but I just get I think I said it last week, but I was back in the store and I saw people without masks on and they were of the Caucasian persuasion. And it annoys me because it's just like, what a goddamn it. Like, you think any of us want to do this? No. Then when we do get back into a lockdown, it's gonna be like, oh my God, everybody gonna be all upset and shit. But when they ask you to do basic shit, you couldn't do that. So now you gotta stay your fucking ass at home. Now you can't even go into the store that you went with a mask in, dumbass. Like, oh my, and it be older white people. I'm like, your old ass immune system already compromised, and you out here just playing Russian roulette and shit. All right.
I think they taking a stand. That's what this is.
This is not the hill to die on. This is a stupid stand.
Listen, man, you can't tell white people that they have to do something or that they can't do something. This is shit. That's how it is. That's how white America is. You can't tell them that they have to do something. You can't tell them that they can't do something. Because if they can't do something, they're going to try like hell to do it. And if you tell them that they have to do something, they're going to not do it because they don't want to. That's the privilege that they have. That was just that. I wish it was... Damn, I can't say that shit. That's bad to say. I done said some shit that's fucked up about Corona, but it's not enough consequences for people fucking up. It's just not. And that's a good thing because I don't want it to be worse. Because I'd be more terrified of getting the shit.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm scared to get it because I don't know how it'll impact my body. But it's possible that you get it and it don't do shit and then you get over it.
Yeah.
I don't want nothing to be worse just because I want some other people to have to suffer consequences because of it. But the next time, when the next virus come out and it make your eyeballs melt when you walk outside, I bet them motherfuckers be doing right then.
I don't know. I still feel like it'll be some people who will still just, the government's trying to control us. It's all a conspiracy.
And that means you deserve for your fucking eyeballs to be melted. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I definitely think we're headed for another lockdown because people ain't doing right. And the numbers are ridiculous right now. And it is because, again, people don't even want to do the basic shit. So, like, I don't want to hear no shit about how everybody upset that we in lockdown and you can't go do nothing and it's impacting your job and shit. When you had an opportunity to help this shit kind of just die down. You didn't, because you got to prove a point because you white and you ain't got to do what people tell you. Okay. But I bet you got to stay at home if your motherfucking job tell you that you can't come in. Bet that. Shit is dumb. It annoys me. Like I said, and I every time I've seen somebody walking around in the store, and I'm not talking about outside, because as soon as I get out the store and I'm in open air, take my fucking mask off. Those masks are uncomfortable. I'm talking about in the store, walking around shopping. Anytime I've seen somebody that didn't have a fucking mask on, they was white. Usually white and older. And I'm just like, all right, keep playing with your life.
Disrespectful.
But I feel like if somebody black walking, especially somewhere like Publix, I've been in Publix and they've been walking around in there without a mask on. But I feel like if my black ass tried to walk in there without a mask, somebody would stop me and be like, you can't come in here without a mask. All these people I see in here walk around without a mask on.
That's a miracle.
That shit is, oh my God. Shit is hella frustrating, man.
Tell me about it.
Oh my God. Is that all you have for that?
Yeah.
Next verses is gonna be Ashanti and Keisha Cole. And I feel like Ashanti is the more popular of the two, but Keisha Cole vocally is much better than Ashanti. I don't really like Ashanti's voice. I never really have.
Ashanti got a pop voice. Keisha Cole got an R&B voice, a soul voice.
Yeah.
Two different things. I don't think this verse is gonna break no records.
No, it ain't. And to be honest with you, when Ashanti was at her peak, I hated most of the songs. Like, I didn't mind Foolish, but what was that song that she was it Baby? Was she, oh baby, ooh baby, oh baby? I hated that fucking song. Oh, I hated it so much because I just did her voice. It was just, I don't know. I got my money. I mean, my money would be on Keisha Cole if this was like a win or lose kind of thing. As far as just musically, I like her music better and her vocals better. Mm-hmm. Like I said, Ashanti had more of a pop mainstream career, I feel like, than Keisha Cole had. Mm-hmm. But I'm Keisha Cole all the way. I like her little hood ass.
Yeah. I don't care one way or the other at all. Not concerned about that.
Well, I just had to have a story.
Yeah, like, it's good to talk about.
Corona. Part of the reason why I've been like whatever about news is just because with Corona running rampant in these streets, it really hasn't, like, the shit about the election was that overtook Corona. I feel like Corona finna be back in the headlines though because the election finally is over, but it really just ain't been. It ain't like it was. Like, I feel like it was like hard hitting stuff that I could talk about as far as pop culture, and now I'm talking about fucking Ashanti and Keisha Cole and NBA YoungBoy having billions of babies. Like, it's just like, okay.
Yeah. So what's been going on this week is this video that's been going around about this Dallas restaurant owner who has a restaurant named True Kitchen Plus Cocktails. He has a DJ in there, and they were playing Juvenile Back That Ass Up and other type of, twerking music.
Okay.
And the guests got up and they was dancing, kind of twerking, dancing around.
Okay.
And he came out and gave a whole speech, like berating everybody that was twerking, saying that this is an establishment that I made for black people to be able to do that, but that twerking, you can take y'all ass somewhere else and do that twerking shit. Basically. And he cussed them out.
Hold on. I want to make sure I have this right. They are playing songs like Back That Ass Up, but he got upset because people were twerking. Mm-hmm. Back That Ass Up is like the twerking anthem. When that do, do, do. When that come on, like, what the fuck? Even if you ain't a twerker, you in your seat, like, moving your butt a little bit. Like, so it's like, you got to set the ambiance for the establishment that you're trying to cultivate. And your DJ playing shit like that, like, nigga, bye. You coming out here cussing people out for doing what the fuck your DJ's ambiance is saying. It's like, get the fuck out of here. He really cussing people out.
Yes, he said,
Wow.
"Get the fuck out of my restaurant if y'all want to do that shit."
I
So
sure
this is where we are with this whole thing. So you got people saying, "Well, you shouldn't have been playing no booty shaking music if you didn't want booty to be shaken." Other people are saying, "So just because booty shaking music is being played in a place that's clearly a sit down dining restaurant, y'all supposed to get up and twerk?" His argument is that one of the ladies had gotten up on the table and was on the furniture,
okay.
twerking.
She was
The other side of that is that one person or two people could have been addressed personally and removed from the restaurant rather than coming and messing up everybody's experience because everybody wasn't doing that shit. Most people were just eating. And so it seemed to be deadlocked on who was right and who was wrong. But the restaurant is booked for weeks now because of this. Like, they are supporting, a lot of people are supporting him because just got that this whole thing. I mean, a lot of people are just supporting him for taking up for himself. A lot of people are condemning him because the way he did it was so fucking unprofessional, and targeting a bunch of people as if we all was doing it. I would feel a certain way if somebody came up in here, like if somebody was shooting rubber bands at the servers or something, and the restaurant manager came out and talked to all of us and said, "If y'all gonna shoot rubber bands, y'all need to get the fuck out of my establishment. Fuck wrong with y'all. This is supposed to be a place where our servers can serve without having any fucking ass shot at them." And y'all, I would feel a certain type of way. I'd be like, that motherfucker who you need to be talking to, you came up here and ruined my conversation. You ruined my dining experience. I'm paying for this food. I ain't doing none of this shit you talking about. I don't want to hear that shit. Go address that table. I would have been felt a certain type of way about that shit myself if I was in the room and he came in and act like everybody was a part of the shit that he's, upset about at the moment.
Have you ever been in like a lounge cocktail sit down restaurant and Back That Ass Up played?
Yeah, I know what happened. I mean, there's way too many.
No,
people.
I'm just saying, like in a place
the
where
energy.
Huh?
You mean like the energy that happened?
No, I'm not even talking about the energy. I'm saying a place that was trying to like present itself as being kind of more upper class or like more of a sit down. Have you heard Back That Ass Up being played in one of those kind of restaurants? Because I can't ever remember sitting in a place and music like that being played when it was supposed to be like this.
In a lounge, yeah, but not somewhere with food and stuff. Like where they had a dance area, yeah, but nowhere where there was food or where there was not expected to be dancing at. I haven't, no.
Because it isn't a song, it's that kind of music. The whole purpose of that song is for people to be able to dance. Like, that's just what it is. So, like, I don't even understand why that music's being played. Like I said, you set the ambiance for your place. So I'm just confused as to why that kind of music was being played anyway. Like, why was the DJ playing it? Like, I get it's like this black-owned place and you want to play black music. It's tons of black music that could have been played. That was non-juvenile Back That Ass Up.
And maybe it was a DJ choice. Maybe he didn't plan for that, nothing like that to be played, and that turned into that.
DJ. You need to talk to your DJ and tell him that that's not appropriate for this type of establishment. That ain't what we trying to do in here. Talk to your DJ. But don't come out and be unprofessional yelling at patrons to your fucking restaurant. That's unprofessional. Don't do that.
Yeah.
You have a conversation with the DJ. He shouldn't have been playing that shit. Because again, I've never been in a sit down place and that any kind of music like that has been played. It's usually been a lounge, somewhere where you could dance, somewhere where it was like expected, for you to get up and bounce your ass. I don't think I've ever been sitting in. I'm trying to think of like I can't think of any like black places because I was gonna say like Applebee's or somewhere, but like Applebee's will be playing that anyway. I can't think of any black places around
It
here.
turned into Club Applebee's at some point.
Yeah, that's crazy. I just That's okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. That's just what's been going on. This, debate been going on about that. That's my piece about it. You got something else? I got one more thing.
Billboard's top gospel artist of 2020 was Kanye West.
Jesus.
And I'm gonna be honest, I did not. I know the last album he put out was like a gospel album, I believe. Once Kanye started living in the lands of fairy tales and monocles, I just kind of stopped fucking with his music. Like I don't even, if he put something out, I don't give a fuck, because I'm not. I don't want to support it. So I didn't listen to it to like know. But I just feel like he was the best gospel album of 2020. Was he really though?
Probably. Gospel albums be boring sometimes.
I mean,
There's only so many ways you can say I love you, Jesus. Kanye West said with some fire ass beats on it. At least. At least.
And I mean, it's somebody who listens to the album right now is probably like, that album was amazing, and it may have been. It's just very 2020 for the best gospel album of the year to be Kanye fucking West. Like, this year has just been the year of shit that just don't make sense, or shit you wouldn't expect. And I still feel like his little church that he got going on is very cultish. I just get cult vibes anytime I see videos from it, and everybody got to wear the same shit, same color, and it be them homely looking shit from his line. Like the shit just gives me a weird vibe. I would not go to Kanye's church, even if I was invited, if I was an A-list star that was like, no, I wouldn't fucking go. That shit just give me Jim Jones vibes. And I'm not finna drink the Kool-Aid. I'm sorry.
Damn.
So it weirds me out. I can't deal with it. And whenever I see people going like celebrities, I'm just like, really? All right. Do you, I guess. But that's all I have.
Letitia Wright.
Is that the other girl from Destiny's Child? No, that's Shuri.
That is Shuri from Black Panther.
Yes.
She tweeted a video from this person named Tommy Ariyomi that had a whole ass transphobic, homophobic rant about why we shouldn't take vaccines. And
Letitia.
Now, I want to state that, and I don't know if you know this about her, but she is super Christian. Not surprising. She is Christian. So it ain't surprising that she would probably align with homophobic and transphobic thoughts and stuff, but to share a video like it, they came for her ass.
I'm sure the fuck they did. Again, This ain't to cross the down.
It ain't.
Gays, listen, the LGBT community will fucking read your ass. Like, it will.
I don't think she was sharing it for the homophobic and transphobic stuff, but clearly somebody who is aware of that. I think she was sharing it for the vaccine shit.
Find something else to share.
Well, I mean, I just don't think that's like, you got to have the foresight to know what can happen. This is what happened. She just don't. Clearly, she ain't smart about this shit.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like,
yeah, clearly she not smart about the shit like this. Like, she shared something that she thought, oh, vaccines, I'm gonna share this, and then if you keep watching the video, this shit get worse and worse, and people come for her about the other shit, and she was like, this was about vaccines, though. That's what I imagine happened. And then Don Cheadle came to kind of like defend her, and then he went and watched the video. And then he said, Jesus, just scroll through hot garbage. Every time I stopped and listened, he and everything he said sounded crazy and fucked up. I would never defend anybody posting this, but I still won't throw her away over it. The rest I'll take off Twitter. Had no idea.
That's why you don't jump to somebody to defend for you see what the fuck going on. Don't do that, because you don't never know. But I feel like if I'm trying to make a point about togetherness, It would be very, very stupid of me to post a video of one of Hitler's speeches where he was talking about how they all needed to come together to fight against the Jewish community. Because what's going to happen, obviously, is people going to be like, bitch, you posted some shit from Hitler. I would look like an idiot to be like, but the point was, he was talking about togetherness and how you have to band together when you want to do. It's other shit I could have posted to make that point. Like, that would have been a bad choice. Letitia, girl, no ma'am. The fuck are you doing? Girl, I like Shuri, but you, and I get it, here's the thing about fame. And it's an unfortunate part of it, but if you're going to be famous, that's just what it is. You have to be very careful. Like, Joe Blow down the street can have them kind of thoughts and whatever and post that kind of shit, and it'll have minor effect. But when you're famous, that shit matters. Should it? Should you be able to just have your own opinion? Yes. But you're going to get fucking crucified in the court of public opinion. And the public is the one who watch your videos and make it to where producers want to put you in movies because people love Shuri. The character of Shuri. Like, why would you fuck that up? Don't fuck that up. You was good to go. And she was in an episode of Black Mirror that was really fucking good. Like, Shuri, Letitia, what you doing?
Man, and there's something that the woke, skeptical, whatever group this is, say that really let me know who the fuck you are. And at this point, I don't care who says it, I'm going to assume that you are a conspiracy theorist. An extreme one at that. Think for yourself. She said, if you don't conform to popular opinions, but ask questions and think for yourself, you get canceled. How is sharing a video of somebody else's whole ass words thinking for yourself? What the? Nigga, that is the opposite of thinking for yourself. That is somebody. So when people say think for yourself, they really mean don't conform to the mainstream.
Yeah.
But they have no evidence as to why they are going along with this other thing that's extreme. I just don't get it. But if you be like, boy, I think for myself. It's a dude on my friend list. I think for myself. That means that he just, for some reason, have found a way away from shit that makes sense. Like, shit becomes normalized because most people agree with it because evidence shows that it makes the most sense. Sometimes because it's just been what's been done. There are reasons to deviate and challenge the status quo. But like, I don't know why people would challenge vaccines. So the guy on my friends list, he said his status basically said, does this seem right to y'all? We can go to restaurants. We're supposed to wear masks all the time, but we can go to restaurants, take the masks off at the table, eat, and y'all think the COVID is real? And I'm like, okay, let's break this down. The fact that you should wear a mask, but you can take it off sometimes, don't got nothing to do with whether whether COVID is real or not. The motherfuckers the government, because so many people push back against wearing masks all the time, which they suggested that we fucking do, this is an allowance. Us being able to eat like this and go out and do things, why would you interpret that as COVID ain't real because we don't got to wear masks all the time? Versus these were political allowances. And I said that, and he was like, I'm saying, how come, the flu been around for, so long and we don't have a cure for the flu and, no, what he said, we got a vaccine for the flu, but we don't got a vaccine for COVID. Why don't we have one for COVID yet?
The shit just fucking came.
And I was like, and he was like, and I told him why, and he said, but you not understanding my point. They both viruses. And I was like, listen, cancer and goddamn hepatitis B are both diseases, but that they attack different parts of the body. They do different shit. Some shit is more complicated. The reason that there ain't no cure for HIV is because it hides itself in your fucking DNA. while it lowers all your immune system and trick your body into thinking that you got immune, but you don't because it's fucking destroyed now. Like, you can't just say, like, virus is the classification of these things. It don't mean that they do the same shit. And I'm
that sounds like some high nigga shit. That sounds like some logical shit niggas think about when they be high.
No, this is think for yourself Twitter, goddamn. That's who he is. Think for yourself, brother. How come they got these two viruses but ain't got a cure for both of them, brother? Shut the fuck up, man. He wanted to add me to a group, and I said, add me if you're ready to be challenged. And he said, I don't want to be challenged, man, even though I'm competitive. This is just here to advance our minds.
Oh my
I
God.
want him to add me to that group because they're going to kick me out in a week, goddamn it. Because them niggas are stupid. And it's like, this bullshit is spreading like wildfire. I mean, I got into a whole debate with one of my homeboys, and he was like, do your research. And I went to go do research on the topic, and I brought facts to his ass, and he said, that's the research they want you to read. And I said, what the fuck am I supposed to find? And then he gonna say, and this ended my conversation with him for probably the future, he gonna say, you know, the thing that brings me to what I believe is my God-given common sense and my life experience. And I was like, oh, so the shit you believe is stuff that ain't provable, but if I put shit out there that's provable, you're going to tell me that it don't make sense based off of some shit that I can't even see, that you have in your head. I get it. I understand my role in your life and on your page now. From your perspective, I'm just going to be the villain, and you're going to be the hero. And you're going to be out here trying to tell everybody the real truth and unlocking their brains to all this knowledge so that they can think for themselves. And I'm going to be Big Bad Wolf who just fucking go along with the flow and do what all they tell us to do because I'm just a sheep. I'm going to be his fucking villain until he die. I'm going to be his villain until he die. I hope he don't die from COVID from not wearing that mask. But I'm going to be his villain forever, as long as he on Facebook. I'm his villain. But like, if you say, think for yourself, I'm already finna stop listening to you. I don't want to hear that shit no more. You have just taken yourself out of the range of me giving a fuck about what you got to say.
Oh, Jesus.
But that, you know, that's it. Letitia Wright, Shuri. What is it? Shuri? Shuri. It didn't sound right. It felt like I was supposed to be saying Shuri. I was like, Shuri? But yeah, look. As you said it all, as a celebrity, you got to be hyper aware of the shit you're putting out, or you're gonna get crucified by public opinion. That's just the reality of it. And you can just be quiet and believe what the fuck you want to believe, and just be an actor. You know, if you don't want to deal with that, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, as an actor, put your voice out there, but you got to take what come along with the shit.
Yeah, you say whatever you want to say. I say this all the time, but there are consequences to everything that we do. So as long as you're ready to bet on consequences, speak on, sister, speak on.
Mm-hmm.
Do your thing. Okay. So I guess that we're gonna just slide on into some poetry.
Yeah, so let's do this poetry here. What you got, Red?
I have a poem called Contractions.
Somebody pregnant?
Not those kind of contractions.
Oh, you mean like apostrophe T, apostrophe ENT? Okay.
I didn't even think about it. You know what? I'm not doing this with you.
No, that was genuine. I wasn't even just bullshitting.
I mean,
I bullshit a lot, but I just pregnancy. That's the first contractions I thought about.
No. Linguistic. Is it linguistic contractions? Anyway, it's called contractions. Okay. She isn't, he isn't, it isn't, and they aren't and never will be. She isn't sure. She has no reason to be. You see, he's given no reason to have any security in what he says and what he does and where he is and where he was. So the doubts build up till she can't see. And he isn't honest, not with her or himself. He knows it's not right. You see, her doubts can be felt in what she doesn't say and what she doesn't do, where she doesn't go. You see, he has a clue, but he just can't seem to let it be. And it isn't fair, but sometimes love never is. Starting out so strong, but then beginning to fizz with all that they don't say and all that they don't do, the places they won't go, the obstacles they won't move until all that there was no longer is. And they aren't denying it. You see, they're very aware. But love is hard to let go of with all the things that they share and what they do say and the things they do, the places they do go, the things that are true. How can you let go when you care? And it never will be, and it's just a sad fact. Sometimes we try to go against fate, try to make our own track, but no matter what we say, no matter what we do, no matter how far we go, it still remains true that we can't go too far from the path. Contractions leave out things, sometimes in O, sometimes in I, but in those missing letters are the tears that we will cry when we forget that nothing's changed. Won't, it still will not.
Okay. Snap, snap, snaps. Little bitty hand claps.
Well, it wasn't pregnancy, but that's
I
so
got
funny.
you.
I didn't even think about that. That's so funny.
Won't, can't, ain't, isn't. You ain't say ain't.
I did not say.
You use white people contractions.
I mean,
You use no ebonical tractions.
I don't. It ain't. I guess I could have said it ain't fair instead of it isn't fair.
You wouldn't say that. You don't even. I don't even feel like you say ain't that much anyway.
I really don't. But what is it? What is ain't a contraction of?
A contraction of a contraction. I feel like it's aren't, ain't, aren't, not. I don't know. That's how I feel.
Like it wouldn't even fit into the leaving out something because it don't leave. It's not even a real contraction.
I think maybe it's the southern way that they've come to say aren't.
Maybe it's
'Cause it fit.
AINT.
Well, aren't
Ain't
fits
not.
in everywhere ain't is.
Yeah. I
They
don't know.
ain't coming. They ain't here. Except I ain't finna do that. That don't fit.
Yeah, I aren't finna do that. Doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
I don't know.
This is called All I Know. And I might have read it before. I just didn't put it on my list of ones I read, but I'm gonna read it again if that's the case. It's just some old hopeless romantic shit. This version of me that don't exist. That I wrote as because it sounds good, I guess. But this is like I feel like this is the me that I could be if I had a different upbringing. Not the me that I am. All I know. All I know is that she walks the earth as me, she cherishes her birth as me, and she doesn't view her worth as free. But I do not know her identity, but I do know that she's an entity. All I know is that her soul is destined to intertwine with mine to become one divine being, to become significantly more than what the combined efforts of every single man has failed to create. To become words that mean more than great, marvelous, wonderful, amazing, extravagant, exuberant, incredible, stupendous, phenomenal, astonishing, remarkable, sensational, miraculous. I have to say that my longing for this undefined love is infatuous. But let me stop, because I do not know her. All I know is that she has so much love that it emits through her feet to the very earth that we both stand on, and I can feel her near me. And her voice is faint, but one day I'll hear her clearly. All I know is that she exists. She could possibly be a part of my world now. She could be someone that I gently grazed while fulfilling the predefined steps that will lead me to her. And of course, she may be someone I've never even met, only because time doesn't feel now is a place together for us yet. All I know is that some man may be putting her through game. All I know is that some man may be putting her heart through games, making her jump through flames for love. And see, she jumps as high as possible because that's how she loves. But he's only an obstacle, and I'm at the end of the course. He was only the source of making her reach capacity. And with the force that she loves, I know his heart wouldn't have the audacity to survive. And all I know is that we're not searching for each other, but we will be one day. We will cross paths and time will stand still as if it's a priceless portrait forever capturing the moment that our lives change to become what no man can fathom. It shall then continue to create a lifetime full of bliss and passion. All that I know is that I'm making myself perfect so that when I meet her perfection, I'll be fully aware. And instead of her selection being full of despair, it will be the best one she ever made. I long for her, and that's all I know.
Oh,
What?
it's romantic.
Yeah. That's the me that I ain't. Like the me that writes this shit believes in this magical love that infiltrates you without consent.
And the you that exists.
Yeah, it's logical. It's a decision. It's rational. It's a next step in a logical series of engagement with a person. And that shit is sad. But that's how I see it.
All right, snap, snap, snap. Okay, so listener letter / Reddit. If you have a question or a Reddit letter you would like for us to look at on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com. Or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artist, or you can send it to our individual social media. And I think we have a call-in letter.
We do have one from Colin. It is titled White Meat or Dark Meat.
I cannot.
Meat positivity, baby.
All right.
It's about me, not about meat.
Okay.
You know you want a man that's gonna be meat positive.
Okay.
You don't want to accept that shit. Cause you understand what meat positivity means, and you know what the opposite is if you have it, and you know you don't want the opposite.
What does his letter say?
What is good, y'all? I know we previously discussed me coming on to join the podcast today, but I had something come up and I unfortunately had to bow out just this morning as I'm writing this. Ooh. I still wanted to get some quick reactions in though, and I have a Reddit post for y'all as well that I was going to bring today, but I think you'll both still enjoy it. So without further ado, on theme, white meat or dark meat? This is in response to last week's conversation about men who only date white women and who disparage black women. I'm not sure if y'all know this, but I have a son. He'll be 1 in a couple of weeks. His mother also is a white woman. Yes, someone listening right now is thinking, damn, I thought Colin was a real one. So did I. Many years ago, I told myself I would only date or settle down with a woman of color because of the increasing difficulties of maintaining a relationship amidst everything that seemingly come home to roost in 2020. In a moment of weakness for my mental health, my behavior was reckless, and here we are. At any rate, all of this to say that it doesn't matter what race your significant other is. Trash people are trash regardless. When you think of something like a child involved, raising that child to be secure in their identity, to feel safe and honored, and to have some culture becomes a very, very large concern. Lesson learned. My future wife now almost 2 years later has a Nigerian dad, so I'll never measure up. Laugh out loud. All right, Reddit post time. Also, what y'all playing this week? I had more to respond to from the other letter when I was listening in the car the other day, but I forgot to take notes for my live listen to write. I'll try to do better, Colin. So, what's up?
I just got a Nintendo Switch.
A Nintendo Switch what? Okay.
A Nintendo Switch Lite.
Sure you,
okay. So I didn't want to pay the extra $100. Okay. Whatever. Anyway.
Would you buy a Diet Coke instead of a Coke because you ain't got an extra quarter?
No.
Exactly.
A quarter is not $100.
But you would be accepting something that is significantly a different quality than the one that you prefer to have.
I mean, okay, so I would say you can play the same games, but what I found out is you cannot. So I like Mario Party. Like, I was a fan of that. It's like this like board. If you never played like a board game kind of thing where you roll a dice and you move around like a board game, but when you land on a space, it's like a mini game. So I like that. So the whole reason I bought the Switch Lite was so that I could play Mario Party. So I bought the Switch Lite and I bought Mario Party, and then I put it in, and this shit didn't work because apparently there are games that you can only play on the Switch main console that don't work on the Lite, and unfortunately Mario Party is one of those games. So I was upset because that was the whole reason I bought it. But that did not make me want to spend the extra $100 to be able to play the game. What I did was I took that game back and I got Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, I think is what it's called. And I also got this game called Hades that reminds me, it's like a dungeon crawler, so it's like Diablo 3, which is one of my favorite games. It's a lot more cartoony than Diablo, but I also like mythology, so it's a nice little marriage of those two things. So that's what I've been playing.
Okay. What I have been playing is No Man's Sky. Now, I always maintain playing Apex Legends, but No Man's Sky, I picked it back up. And man, when they update this game, they add so much shit that makes it a much more complete feeling experience.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, No Man's Sky was like released in 2016, and it was supposed to be this amazing game where you can fly to space and go to different planets and create bases and meet with other people. But it came out, and really all you can do is just fly to space, and everybody was fucking mad. The main reason is because the dude who was marketing it, it was a small team of 4, and they didn't want to hire a PR person, so he did it. And he basically, every time somebody asked a new question about if they could do something, he was just like, yeah, 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 yeah. And it got to a point where they pigeonholed them into making it that way. But they couldn't do it in time, so they released the game, and everybody got disappointed. But since then, they've been releasing free updates for this whole game, and it has become a very amazing immersive experience, just aesthetically. Just flying out of space and going to a new planet, and there's new creatures on the planet. I mean, they got planets that are frozen, and they got planets that are on fire, and they got these lush, bountiful planets with just grass everywhere. They got these huge monsters that sometimes just fly out of nowhere. It's just crazy, man. It's a good game. So I've been playing that. That's what I've been playing more than anything now. Like, I put like 70 hours in over the last couple of weeks, and that's a lot of time for a fucking game, you know.
Well, I was off this past week, so I bought for my Xbox the new Crash Bandicoot. That shit is hard. It is not like the Crash Bandicoot of old. I died 30 times on the stage. Literally 30 times. Because it keeps a little counter in the top to let you know how many times you died. But,
before we get to Colin's Reddit letter, another thing, thanks for opening up about your experience, Colin, man. It is a very important thing it's important to be close to your culture and connected to your culture, but if you have a child with somebody of a different culture, then it becomes a different moment, because now you can no longer feel the way about that culture that you did before, because your child is half of that. You know what I'm saying? Or if you do feel that way, then you got to figure out how you shield your child from feeling that way about a whole half of their family. It gets a little complicated,
it does.
But
I want to reiterate that what I was saying last week, and I don't think that he took it like I wasn't saying this. I'm just reiterating for anybody that didn't listen or doesn't know what he's referring to. I have an issue with I don't have an issue with interracial dating. I don't really, you love who you love. What I have an issue with is when you have somebody say, I'm not, I'm black, but I don't date black women because of X, Y, and Z. That shit irritates me. If you fall in love with somebody white, that's fine. But like, it didn't need to be a situation where you were purposely seeking out somebody white because, black women are trash. Because like Colin said, trash people exist all across the spectrum. It's trash humans, and no matter what culture you look at.
Yeah. So I appreciate that, Colin. But before we get to Colin's Reddit letter, that's going to take us into the Reddit letters. We got another message from Michael's wife.
Oh.
And she spelled it WAHF. I guess maybe she's saying it like we saying Michael's wife here. That's what it feels like. Sup, Michael's wife here. Or to use the spelling people outside of our marriage use, Michael's wife. Oh, that's what they use in the marriage. Okay. Michael's wife. I love that title. Even 4 years into our marriage, she sometimes turns to me and states wife with a nod, and I adore it. So Michael's wife will do just as long as you can keep it up.
Oh.
You asked what games we play. Recently, I've discovered modding on Skyrim, so having a mass binge sessions of that. I'm a PC gamer with a heavy lean to RPG, so Diablo 3 is a common feature, as is Divinity 2, The Forest, and any other Borderlands series. These are the main ones we co-op. However, we have multiple consoles and PC, so quite often we're just in the same room gaming as opposed to playing the same game together, which is a great time to listen to you guys. I must confess I've now taken quite obsessively to reading Am I the Asshole at bedtime and waking Michael up for the funny ones. I totally blame you. Once this pandemic is over, you are more than welcome at Michael's gig/hours for food and wine. He cooks, I drink. Yep, I married a guy that's funny, smart, and can cook. Absolute jackpot. He'll say I'm gushing and being embarrassing, so I'll cut it short. But seriously, he is awesome, and I'm flagging your podcast to me. Him flagging your podcast to me is another example of that. Michael's wife.
Oh, that is. First of all, I knew I liked her. She likes Diablo, which I just got through saying was one of my favorite games. Love Diablo 3. Really ready for them to come out with a new one. That's awesome that they can just sit and play separate games. They're just like good with being in the same room with each other. That is what I aspire for.
Me too.
I want that shit.
I don't want to have to make no decisions. Look, you can watch your Tyler Perry film, and I'm gonna play the game. That's just how we're gonna do. You're gonna have your headset on. I'm gonna have my headset on, because with my headset, I'm gonna be talking to my teammates, and with your headset, all you need to do is block out the sound from me, and that's how it's gonna work. 2 TVs in the living room. If you don't like that, then I get dibs on what happens on the TV first.
That's awesome, though. That's awesome. And I'm glad that she, like I said, I felt the need to say I was calling her Michael's wife, because you know how people get. And again, I would never, I don't call myself a feminist. I do believe in women having the right to do shit that they want to do. But like feminism has such a negative connotation. And so.
What about womanism?
Huh?
What about womanism?
Womanism? I don't know.
Womanism is the black feminism.
Okay.
You have to research it.
Yeah.
You probably won't, but if you did, good. That's what it is.
But I had said, I was gonna call her Michael's wife because I didn't know what she wanted to be called, and that's how we came into contact with her. But she will henceforth be Michael's wife. So thank you so much, y'all. I mean, again, the fact that we have UK listeners is amazing. And the fact that despite not knowing what the fuck we were saying, that you like toughed it out until you better understand us. I appreciate it.
Like a boss. All right. So Colin's Reddit letter.
Okay.
I hate my wife. Dead bedrooms. She complains about doing the bare minimum. She doesn't work. She barely takes care of her elderly parent that she gets paid to care of, and we have one child. She is a stay-at-home mom by choice, which I given her moral and financial support to pursue whatever she wants. She consistently complains about what I view is the minimum. We share the same accounts, and I see she logs in so much time on TV and YouTube. Yes, she cooks and cleans, but she does it only once I get home from work. She went to college for a psychology major, and she had every opportunity to keep going for a master's to get working experience. She did neither. It's been almost 3 years since we had sex, and I will not cheat, but fuck, it's all I think about. I'm more venting than anything, but I welcome advice. This is from the Dead Bedrooms Reddit.
3 years? Your camera's weird. You put it askew.
Yeah, I had to move it to see these words on the screen.
Oh. That is terrible. That whole thing sounds awful. Like there was nothing positive. There's no redeeming quality in this relationship. And the unfortunate thing about like being with somebody is all you can do is make requests, right? Like I can't make nobody do anything. Like I can request it, and because he cares about me, he can honor that request. Or the same thing, he can request it, and because I care about him, I can honor his request. But you can't make nobody do nothing. And so if he's been having conversations with her and it ain't went nowhere, and we 3 years into this fucked up shit, then
Okay, so you're not going to cheat. It's possible that you're not going to have sex. So you need to leave.
Yeah.
You sound miserable.
It sounds awful.
Like you need to say, I'm happy with this part of the relationship, though.
No
Sound
redeeming
like you
part.
hate everything. Not getting sex. I mean, I guess maybe she cook and clean.
But she only does it once he gets home because she knows he's gonna say something. Like she's not doing it like before, which I would want to do it before because as the day goes on, I don't be want to do nothing. I get up out of the bed. If I'm gonna clean, if it's a clean day, I get up and do that shit.
So let me rewind it back. Don't leave. Figure out if your wife has some mental health issues, if she is compromised somehow, if she is utterly depressed, maybe she don't know exactly what she can do. Maybe she's gotten in a pattern of you taking care of her so much that she needs some motivation and encouragement to be pushed to do something that's different than what she's been doing. It could be a number of things. So I would explore that first, until that don't work. If that don't work and you back in this same situation, because best case scenario, even if you get sex, it's gonna probably be another 3 years till you get sex again. Like, what is it that made her stop desiring to have sex? And it's been 3 years. Was sex something that y'all were doing consistently 3 years ago, and then it stopped, and you haven't been doing it since, or has it always been like a difficult thing to get sex from her? I don't,
3
I don't
years is
know.
a very long time to sleep beside somebody that you are romantically involved with.
Like,
It's
give
just
me a
not.
hand job or something. When have they been doing anything? Hand jobs, blow jobs. Let me skeet on your back. I don't know.
Man, that sounds terrible.
Squeeze your boobies together so I could, get some action on myself. Like, be my solo porn star or something. Like, masturbate yourself or something. Is it me? What is it? Why don't you want sex with me anymore? I think that'd be hard to deal with. Especially somebody who used to love to have sex with you and now that shit is dead. Like, the way you get them is how you got to keep them, man.
Yeah.
How it work. If I cook for somebody on day 1 and I stop cooking on day 100, they're gonna be like, "What happened? You don't cook for me like you used to." And I fucked up. I fucked up because I cooked too early. But yeah, that's sad.
It's very sad.
I want to see what some of the comments say. So normally I wouldn't suggest leaving your wife as your only option, but your title says it all, and because of that title alone, I feel it's time to move on. I'm sorry, I feel your pain. Bro, that shit say I hate my wife.
Damn.
Next person said you're gonna get enough comments that boil down to just leave and same, man, same. While I don't necessarily disagree with leaving a toxic relationship, you already think your wife is depressed. You could have a young child at home that she's the primary care for, and she's the care for her mother, plus COVID, and she's been assaulted in the past. None of this is your fault, but this also goes along with explaining her aversion to physical intimacy. So apparently it's a whole bunch of stuff that they've been talking about in this conversation that gives more insight, but there's a lot more that need to be said. Like in all these Reddit posts, when you go through Reddit posts, people be giving a lot more information in the comments.
In the comments as people ask questions, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, okay. But that's about the size of it, though.
All right. Yeah.
Leave or figure out if she's depressed. If that worked, great. If it don't, then back to leave.
Yeah, because how old is the kid? If the kid's 3 years old, then postpartum depression. People think that it's like right after you have the baby, but for some people, that shit snowballs into other shit. So I wonder how old their kid is. The one kid that they have. I'm gonna do this one. It's an Am I the Asshole? Just because the title, because I love dogs, made me mad.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I hadn't read it.
What,
so
did somebody put peanut butter on their balls and let their dog lick it off?
What's the matter with you? No.
They didn't do that?
No, he did not.
I'll let you go ahead. I ain't gonna guess.
Okay. Am I the asshole gave away an unwanted dog back to the breeder? I'm gonna wait and see what the circumstances are. Because when I read it, I was like, bitch. Throw away because I know my ex Reddits and I don't need my post history examined. That's already a problem. You gotta worry about your ex, her going through your Well, anyway, a month ago, so he's 27 and his then girlfriend was 29. A month ago, my then girlfriend got me a puppy for my birthday. We had agreed upon a cat from a nearby shelter that was very sweet, and the day she left to pick up the kitty, she instead went to a breeder and brought home a 10-week-old Siberian Husky. I asked what my new cat was. Girlfriend decided cats won't help my masculine image. I'm a skinny African, I guess it's an African American asthmatic with glasses who could fit into any nerd movie. But would a dog would, so she told the shelter. I changed my mind and got me something better. I hit the fucking roof, told her to get the hell out and take the dog with her. I know about huskies. My small apartment and homey lifestyle doesn't work for them. I'm more of a fat bulldog lifestyle if I had to get a dog, I admit it. She stormed out and left the dog. I took care of him for about a week while trying to find the breeder. Meanwhile, girlfriend is ignoring my calls and texts. This is the am I the asshole part. I broke into her email since her password was saved on my laptop and found some emails with a breeder about a 3-hour drive away. I contacted them and talked to a very nice woman who confirmed the dog was hers and was very eager to take him back upon finding out that she was lied to over the circumstances the dog was going into. We agreed I am not suitable for a husky at all, and she offered a full refund for him when she picked him up. I told her to keep the money because girlfriend was a liar and she deserved it. Girlfriend found out I gave the dog back and couldn't get her money back and said I was an asshole for stealing the dog and convinced her family somehow that I was in on a scam to bilk her out of $2,000. We broke up obviously, but how much of an asshole here am I really? Not at all. I'm glad I read it before I said anything. Listen. Dogs and cats are very different. First of all, the fact that you think him having a dog is going to make him appear to be more masculine, girl, bye. But secondly, they are very, very different. And not only did you get him a dog when he wanted a cat, you went and got a motherfucking husky. I wouldn't even get a husky, and I love dogs. And the reason I want to get a husky, they are very energetic dogs. They bark and talk a lot. They make a lot of fucking noise. They can be very destructive. They require a lot of training in order for them. And an apartment, like all of this is just like bad idea. For her to go against his wishes, and her going against the wishes is bad enough, but then her reasoning for going against his wishes is so fucked up. It's like, bitch, you think the husky is gonna make him look more masculine? And you know what? Good for stiffing her on the money because she shouldn't have did that shit. I don't think you're an asshole for that. That's the least of what you could have done.
I think he missed out on the opportunity.
Here you go. You want him to be a bigger asshole or be big? No, not a bigger asshole. You want him to be an asshole or be petty?
What? Why?
Go ahead. But I feel like what you finna say is finna be some petty shit.
I just feel like he should have got that $2,000. How much money do both of these people have for her to impromptu drop on $2,000 on a husky out of the blue, and for him to just be like, don't worry about that $2,000, you can keep it, even though I gave you the product back. What the fuck? That's $2,000. I mean, even if I was a dick, I'd be like, bro, I can't let her be out of $2,000 if I can get it back. The woman said, I'm gonna give you a full refund. Why would you say, don't worry about it? Get that for yourself. But apparently they live in the land of balling out of control because they goddamn both don't give a fuck about $2,000. She glossed over getting a $50 cat for a $2,000 Siberian Husky. And my biggest problem would be, why did she even go along with all of this facade at the beginning? They both went to this place and agreed upon the cat. At what point between her driving to get the cat and stopping to get the husky did she say, you know what? I think this cat gonna make him less masculine. I'm going to get a husky. Like, I feel like she probably was orchestrating this shit for a while, because you also can't just pull over into a breeder house and be like, hey, you got any puppies right now? And they happen to have puppies right at that moment. That's not how breeding works. It's a very small window to get fucking puppies when you breed them. I think that he should have gotten that $2,000, because one, she should have been answering the fucking phone, number one. Because I'm sure he was calling her to say, come get this dog, because I can't keep it. And when she didn't answer the phone.
When she left, and she left the dog with him.
When she didn't answer the phone, I feel like she forfeited that $2,000. But ain't no way I would have let that breeder keep it. That breeder came up like a motherfucker. Finna sell that dog for $2,000 and got a free 2,000. You know, but I feel like the breeder is probably reasonable enough that if the girlfriend called the breeder and said, "Hey, blah blah blah," they probably give her the money back or give her some of the money back or something. You know, but then again, maybe not because she shouldn't have fucking lied.
She sounds like a bitch because now you telling your family and everybody that he was some kind of a scam. How is he in on a scam when he didn't even know that you was getting a fucking dog? He thought you was leaving to go get a fucking cat. So how is he in on a scam trying to bilk you out of some money? And then he didn't even keep the money. How was he benefiting from this scam? Usually when people scam you, they get something out of it. He didn't get shit. Nothing. He gave the money. He let her have the money. He don't have a pet. What he got out of this? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You should not have done that. Listen, I love dogs, but dogs ain't for everybody. If somebody said that they want a cat and you agree to get them a cat, get them the fucking cat. Don't get them a dog because the care for those two animals is very different. And then a husky of all the dogs. Again, I wouldn't get a goddamn husky. That's a lot. Little Remy be running me ragged. Okay, a husky? Mm-mm. No. So no, I don't think he's an asshole. She shouldn't have did that shit. She's an asshole, and I'm glad y'all ain't together no more because she just sounds like a terrible person.
Very terrible.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Let me choose one of these.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for getting mad that my oldest son didn't let my youngest win a game? Am I the asshole for throwing away a whole pot of chili out of spite? My husband nursed on me while I slept. This is relationship advice. The last one, my boyfriend, 28, wants me, 27, to take a dump in front of him to prove that I'm not cheating.
I want to do all four of these. I'm not even doing any of mine. Just start from the top. Let's go down.
Okay. Am I the asshole for getting mad at my oldest son that let my youngest win a game? I have 4 kids, and 2 are relevant to this story. My 10-year-old son, we'll call Jack, and 8-year-old, we'll call Tony. They were playing Mario Kart with each other on their 3DSs. My oldest son knows to let the youngest win, otherwise he'll throw a tantrum. The boys swapped DSs because Tony's needed to be charged, and Jack didn't feel like moving from his spot. Like I said, Jack knows to let Tony win, but for some reason he didn't this time. Tony started his usual I didn't win tantrum and threw Jack's 3DS across the room. The console broke, the top of the screen came off the bottom, and the buttons are unresponsive. Jack was upset, and that's why I got mad at him. He had been told repeatedly to let Tony win to avoid a tantrum. My husband and my 2 girls, 16 and 17, are saying that I should make Tony give Jack his 3DS, but I think it's Jack's own fault for giving him his one and then not letting him come in first place. Jack is refusing to share anything with Jack and has hardly spoken to me in days, so I'm left to deal with the constant tantrums on my own. Am I the asshole?
Girl. Yes, the fuck you are. Are you kidding me? Your little 8-year-old, instead of addressing his tantrum, because let me tell you something about little Tony, okay? Little Tony's gonna lose at a lot of shit in life, okay? That's just what it is, all right? You're not gonna always come out on top, whether it be because you actually just, your ability wasn't good enough, or just because nepotism, it's a bunch of shit that could go on for why Tony might not get what the fuck Tony wants. Tony need to be learning now as a child to deal with those child things that he can't get that he wants, so that when he becomes an adult, he knows how to deal with adult shit that he can't get when he wants it. You telling your other son, just let him win, like, is enabling that fucking behavior, and you gonna blame him because Tony had a tantrum and threw a fucking deal. You are crazy, ma'am. You are insane. How is that Jack's fault? If Tony want to win, Tony need to practice and become better. That's that participation trophy shit. I can't stand that. Like, you, nowhere else in life does shit work like that. When you get ready to go to college, they're not gonna just give everybody a scholarship just because. Like you gotta have the best essay, you gotta have the grades, you have to have worked for whatever it is. Like nowhere else in life does that happen. And I just think it's setting kids up for failure doing that shit. You enabling the shit out of Tony. Yes, you the asshole for that. And Jack is gonna resent you for this.
It sounds like he already do hell.
I would. Shit.
I mean, damn. Look.
Shit get broke and you yell at me?
First off, this whole conversation is like it's common knowledge to everybody that the youngest one should win. Like you shouldn't, like that's really just reinforcing this behavior. You're setting your kid up to try to fight a police officer and get his ass tased or shot. You setting your son up to get in a confrontation on the street with some hoodlums and to get stabbed and poked up, goddamn. You setting up a situation where your son gonna be in a restaurant and get fired because he went off on his coworkers for taking a table that he wanted. You cannot allow your child to believe that they are the exemptions to any rules that exist in our society. And if you are a parent that is okay with giving your kids these allowances just to make your life easy right now, not considering what that may mean for your child's life later, then one, you the fucking asshole as a parent. But in this situation, you are definitely the asshole because your other son ain't got no business throttling his capability because your fucking son can't take an L right. And it's going to be only a matter of time before oldest son put hands on that little young motherfucker because you done built up this fucking large-scale resentment between both of them that's the only way it's going to be resolved. One day, that youngest son going to throw something across the room and oldest son going to pull his fucking sleeves up and say, you had this shit coming, you little bitch. And he going to beat that motherfucker's ass. And you know what? You're going to be mad, but his ass still going to be beat. You can't unbeat some ass. He going to remember that shit. So you are definitely the fucking asshole. Do better parenting. I hope the people on this fucking Reddit thread are schooling the shit out of your ass because I don't know if it's deleted. Let's see what some of the top comments said. Even if it's deleted, it'll still have a comment. Okay, it's still there. You're the asshole and a crappy parent. It's not Jack's responsibility to help you handle Tony's tantrums. You do not reward bad behavior. Tony throws tantrums and get his way and you just go along with it. He has you trained. Yep. Tony is old enough to understand that there are consequences to his actions. Having to give his brother his toy is a natural consequence of breaking his brother's toy. Get a grip before Tony grows to an entitled adult with no sense of accountability.
What I said.
Right, look, it be some motherfuckers on Reddit that be goddamn giving some good ass advice. There's some people that be giving some good ass input, but there's also some people that be giving some stupid shit. I'm gonna read this one more. You're the asshole times 1,000. What kind of lesson are you giving your youngest here? He's long past old enough to know that in any competitive game, someone's got to win and someone's got to lose. Yep. You could have long since turned situations like this into teachable moments. Instead, you're deeply enabling Tony to be the spoiled shit that he is. And to make matters worse, you yelled at Jack for it. Your husband and daughters are spot on here. It's called consequences. Maybe if you taught Tony sooner that his actions have them, you wouldn't be in this situation. This is the kind of shit that, if left unchecked, end up with Jack going no contact with you at the first opportunity when he's an adult, and Tony in a failure to launch situation where he's still living with you when he's 40. However, it's not too late. Reevaluate and change course. Edit to add, where's your husband in the whole active parenting situation? He's not off the hook either. Parenting needs to be consistent across the board and not 100% on you.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, and parenting is hard, especially if you have a child that is a kind of child that throws tantrum. But your solution to that child throwing tantrum it shouldn't be for you to give in to the tantrum, because guess what? If every time we go in Walmart and I say I want some Skittles, you tell me no, I fall out and I get them Skittles. Guess what the fuck I'm gonna do every time we go in Walmart? Because what I've learned is that it works. I've learned that, okay, if I embarrass her, if I do this, she's just going to give them to me to shut me up and I get what I want at the end of the day. So I'm going to continue. Like, you're just encouraging the behavior to continue. And putting it off on Jack, who's only fucking 10, that's not fair to him. Like, I can't stand that participation trophy shit. Like, That is such a disservice to kids because there is nowhere else in life where that happens. You do not get participation trophies anywhere else in life. Nowhere else. You have to learn how to take an L because in life you're gonna take L sometimes, and that's okay. You just work harder to get that W, but like you gonna take L's, and giving your child this system or this environment where they never lose or have to lose at anything. The very first time they lose at something as a young adult, it's gonna be all hell just gonna break because they don't know how to lose now. Because you've been sheltering them from this shit that's inevitable. You gonna take an L. We all take L's. Like that's just what life is. So you win some, you lose some. But yes, you're a horrible, terrible fucking asshole of a parent for doing that. Both for what you're doing to Jack and growing a resentment in him, and for Tony being enabled a little brat. Cannot.
Fuck him.
Yes. I whoop Tony like no. Like we finna have a whole come to Jesus about this because you gonna lose sometimes.
With your bitch ass.
Cause you do that shit. Like again, you're right. The police, especially with me being black and me more than likely gonna have a black son, you cannot be out here throwing no motherfucking tantrum because you don't get what you want. You're gonna get shot and killed. Period.
Yep. Next. Am I the asshole for throwing away a whole pot of chili out of spite?
This shit sound.
This shit long as fuck.
How can this be long?
You know how these shits go. Ain't no telling what this shit got to do with. All right. I'm extremely sensitive to the taste of salt. Nothing will happen to me health-wise if I do eat a lot, but I absolutely cannot stand it, and salted food is inedible to me. My boyfriend, on the other hand, is a salt fiend. He adds extra salt to everything, which is fine. Everybody has their own taste palette. I don't care what he does with his own food. I got up yesterday and decided to do chili in the crock pot. 5 p.m. rolls around, chili is done. We bowl up for dinner. I'm not very hungry, so I just make a tiny bowl with the plan to go back later. I made 10 quarts with the idea of leftovers for at least 2 days. I go back a few hours later, make a small bowl, and shrivel into a raisin upon taking the first. He didn't just salt his bowl, he salted the entire pot. Now, I'm aware that 99% of the population will probably have to season their bowl. I expect people to. When I have someone over to eat, I tell them I don't use much salt and direct them to the shaker so that they can do up their own portion how they like it. But I do expect people to have some consideration for others eating and limit their own plate. This isn't the first time he's done this, and we've talked about it before. He swears he won't do it again, but there's a 50-50 chance next time we'll eat, he'll salt the main dish before putting it on his plate instead of just salting what's on his plate. It ruins leftovers for me, which pisses me off because I'm the sole buyer of groceries and I usually cook in bulk. I didn't say anything. I just dumped my bowl. I was pissed, feeling disrespected and uncared for. In the heat of the moment, I dumped the rest of the pot. My thought process was, if I can't eat, neither can he. He has a habit of getting up at 1 a.m. and digging in the leftovers. So like clockwork, he goes downstairs, digs around in the fridge, then he stumps back up to our room and asks where the fuck the chili went. I told him I threw it out because it was inedible and he lost it about wasting food, said it's not his fault, I have no sense of taste, and didn't think I wanted it anymore. 10 quarts of chili and he thought 9 of it was solely his, apparently. This is the first time I've actually thrown out basically a whole dish. Normally it's just bitch at him about it, reminding him to stop doing it and move on. This time I just snapped, I guess. I'm tired of only getting to eat a tiny portion of food that I pay for and cook. It's costing me money because I'm having to make separate food for myself when there's perfectly good leftovers I can't touch. It seems like such a dumb thing to fight over, and now that I've thought about it, I wonder if I did overreact. I'm still pissed, but it still feels petty and wasteful. I vented in my group chat and it's been a mix of your food, your choice, and it's just salt. Get over it. Am I the asshole for throwing it away purely out of spite?
So this is, to me, this is indicative of a bigger issue. It's not just about the salt, but there's some shit I would have did. Because here's the thing about seasoning food. You can add, you cannot take away. So like I've oversalted something. That shit is, you can't do nothing. Can't fix that. It's fucked up. Nothing you do. To me, this is just indicative of an issue within their relationship in general. Like that's disrespectful. If he knows that they have different tastes as far as seasoning go, don't season the thing that everybody got to eat out of. Season your shit. Put a little extra salt in your shit. You don't salt the whole fucking thing. That's not how that works. So was it petty? Yes. Are you an asshole? I wouldn't say that. I would say it was petty, and I would have done the same thing. But I do think y'all need to have a conversation about just being respectful of each other.
Respectful of each other.
Or him being respectful of you.
Yeah, he need to be respectful. The fuck wrong with him? Like, she's conditioned him to be able to get as much food as he want because all he got to do is fuck it up, and she leaving it there for him to eat the rest of it.
So she threw that shit away this time.
If you throw that shit away the next 3 times, I bet he won't salt that shit again. I bet he goddamn won't. You know, you got to train these motherfuckers. And you said you buy the groceries and you cook the groceries, and he have the audacity to fuck it up so you can't eat it, and he's done this several times before, and you've had the conversation, and him said he won't do it again, even though he still do that shit. Yeah, he don't respect you. He don't respect the fact that you buy groceries. He's taking you for granted. Fuck him and that food. Pour that shit out if you got to, because this is what it's gonna take for a motherfucker like this to learn a fucking lesson. Look like you just gonna have to eat one bowl of chili this time, motherfucker. I'm gonna sleep like a goddamn baby. Good night. Where I'm at with this shit.
Oh, you so.
But there's an edit.
Okay.
Edit. Holy balls, Batman. I didn't expect this to gain so much traction. I posted and went to bed thinking I have a couple of responses in the morning. Damn, I wish I posted it on the main. To answer some facts, why isn't he paying his way? He doesn't work. I'm the sole provider. I have 2 jobs and he watches our kids, so I can work. He's not certified to do anything, so I have more earning potential. Y'all eat that much in 2 days? I couldn't add in the main post because of the character limit, but we have 2 kids also. The baby is still breastfed and too young to eat chili, but it was ruined for our toddler as well. I worry about his kidneys. This seems like a bigger problem. Honestly, it is. It isn't about the chili. It's about the ongoing disrespect, and this was just a specific breaking point. I have kids with this man, and have sunk so much time and effort and life into him that it's hard for me to accept reality for what it is. It feels like everything he does comes from a selfish place. He navigates the world in his life like it's a single player RPG, and everyone else is just NPCs to improve his stay. If it wasn't salting the chili, it would have been using up the last of the detergent to only wash his clothes, or using up all the hot water knowing I needed to shower for work. This just happened to be where the pieces landed. You're a dick for wasting food. I know. That's why my actions settled on me enough to post here. I was raised in poverty, and I've lived on rice and beans before. This was pure anger and spite fuel thing. It seemed to be the lesser evil than dumping it on his side of the bed, which did cross my mind. Why don't you like salt? What do you cook with then? I do use salt and seasonings. I'm just very light-handed with the salt. I eat pre-seasoned, prepackaged food, and those are generally fine. If not, I just pass them off to him. I order McDonald's fries and salted. When I make tacos, I use regular full sodium taco mix, and that's a bit much. I drown it out with other toppings on my plate. The difference between me and him is that he adds additional salt on top of all of that. He resalts McDonald's fries when he gets home, puts extra salt on top of the tacos, etc. Leave him. Yeah, probably. I've been looking into daycares and pre-K for the kids. That's really the only reason I've stuck it out for so long. If I had childcare, his presence here would be redundant. Edit 2. I'm going to go through and answer all y'all individually, but I'm going to wait until things slow down. My phone is ding, ding, dinging right off the table, and it's short-circuiting my ADHD lizard brain a bit. I appreciate all the advice and judgments, and be back to interact, I promise.
So for the person who talking about she's a dick for wasting food, fuck you, okay? It was a pot of chili, all right? And it was a moment of being upset from being disrespected. Like, get over yourself. I can't stand people like, it's children. It's children in Africa that could have ate that motherfucker. You that person. Shut the fuck up. Yes, like I said, we had already, before reading the edit, had already said that this was indicative of a bigger problem. So it's not surprising to me that in other areas he's also disrespectful and selfish. And yeah, I mean, right now he's just a fucking daycare. You can just pay somebody to do that. If that's all he bringing, he a daycare. He sounds like an asshole. He's an asshole. You're not an asshole.
Yeah, fuck him. But people are calling her the asshole. A lot of them are because of
what?
This is the top one. I know I'll get downvoted because Am I the Asshole is very pro-petty, but he sucks for salting the entire crock pot against your wishes and behind your back. Just season up your individual dish like everyone else. You suck for being petty and wasting 10 quarts of food that could be eaten on the grounds of, if I can't eat it, no one can. Waste of money and totally petty. Then again, you knew that, otherwise you wouldn't have posted here. Next time, just cook for yourself until he can respect you enough not to do that. You get to eat. Food isn't wasted. Problem solved.
No, well, and I don't know if they wrote that before or after knowing that they had kids, but again, fuck you to whoever said that. Like, she has had conversations. She said that she's talked to him. He said he wouldn't do it, yet he continues to do it. Like, so don't act like she just had this unreasonable reaction the very first time this shit happened. Like, this is ongoing behavior, and everybody got a breaking point. And yeah, that's minor. Her throwing the chili out, minor, because she could have did some real petty shit. Real petty. Like, she could have put ghost peppers in the chili, knowing he was gonna go back and eat it. And he could have got a mouthful of ghost pepper. Like, it was a lot of other petty shit that she could do. That was minor.
Yeah. She could have put some cayenne pepper in that bit, burnt his ass out.
That's why I said ghost peppers.
Yeah.
Ain't ghost peppers like the hottest pepper?
Yeah, but they hard to get, and then put in like just cayenne pepper that bitch. That'll be fine. Pour a whole thing of cayenne pepper in that bitch, stir that bitch up, and just let him. Well, yeah, no, yeah, ghost pepper be best. Something that the heat gotta last for a little while. Put some X-Lax in that bitch or something. Make the man dookie his whole chili ass out.
And chili already can disrupt your stomach depending on the seasoning. So, yeah, I mean, no, you're not an asshole, and you need to address the bigger issue in your relationship, which is him being disrespectful and selfish.
Yeah, it is. Next. And they removed the post too. That's why I'm glad that they screenshotted it. My husband nursed on me while I slept. My husband, 31 male, and I, 26 female, have been together for 6 years and have a 1.5-year-old, and I'm still breastfeeding. Ever since I had my child, my husband doesn't touch my breast at all. I kind of like it that way because I mainly see my breast as something for my child instead of anything sexual now, and it's hard for me to separate the fact that we are now having sex. When we are having sex. Last night, though, I woke up to my husband suckling on my breast like he was breastfeeding. I've been sleeping pretty hard lately because my child finally sleeps through the night, so I'm not constantly on edge waiting to hear them wake up as I used to. Anyway, last night I woke up abruptly with my shirt completely up and my husband nursing on me. I gasped and he kind of shot up and laid back down in bed. I then said, "You scared me," and went back to sleep. He never said anything and I haven't brought it up again. I'm so confused about how I feel and how to proceed with this. On one hand, I'm uncomfortable and kind of creeped out about what happened, and specifically that it happened while I was asleep. On the other hand, I don't want to embarrass or shame my husband. I don't know what to do and desperately want to talk about this to someone, but don't want to tell my friends or family about it.
You need to talk to his motherfucker. Oh, my Lord. So, anything that you have to wait until somebody's unconscious to do, probably not a good idea. And just because you're married to somebody does not give you the right to do that. Y'all know I watch ID Channel a lot. There is an episode of one of the shows, I cannot remember what. Oh, who the fuck bleep? Who the bleep did I marry? This lady's husband wanted to have sex with her more often than she was having sex with him, but he wanted to have sex like way more. So he was drugging her after she goes to sleep, and where she would like be unconscious and having sex with her. And the way she found this out is because not only was he having sex with her, he was recording him having sex with her unconscious for him to use the times where he couldn't get her unconscious. Like, that's an extreme version of this, but anything you have to do or you waiting to do with somebody is unconscious, like, it's not a good idea, bro. It's bad. It's not good. You need to talk to him about that. It's not okay. It's creepy. It's fucking creepy. Ugh. It's really weird.
It's definitely creepy. First comment. So, that's kind of a fetish of mine, and my wife is actually into it, and it's great. So maybe I can give feedback that's free from revulsion of the act itself. Not okay. He didn't ask. That's never been a part of your sex life before, and he doesn't get to introduce it while you're sleeping. You don't want to shame your husband, but frankly, sometimes shame is a healthy feeling and appropriate response to certain actions. I'm not going to say leave him over this. I don't think it's that extreme, but it needs to be made very clear that he violated a boundary and it would not be tolerated moving forward.
I forgot she said she didn't want to embarrass him. Let me address that. Fuck that. He didn't care nothing about oh my God. I wouldn't give a shit about his feelings. Like, you didn't care about mine. I woke up to some shit that happens to bitches. Like, I should not wake up to this with you being my husband. I should be able to trust falling asleep around you and that you're not gonna do no fuck shit. So, like, embarrass him. He should be embarrassed. The fuck? You better talk to him.
I'm thinking of how I would feel if my woman said after we had a child, my breasts are no longer sexual, period. I don't want you to touch them as so. I don't want you to anything them as sexual. That's not what they are anymore.
But she didn't tell him that. She said he just naturally didn't mess with her breasts anymore after she liked it because she doesn't see them as sexual. She didn't ask him not to. He just did that on his own. I don't know if he was because he was weirded out because they had milk in it or what, but he stopped doing that on his own. She didn't ask him to do that.
I guess I was still looking at it like if he decided to, would she still be like, no, that's over?
Well, we'll never know because he just decided to go
Well,
take
fucked up now. It's different. Like, it's just different than just looking at breasts as sexual. He may be looking at the breast the same way the baby is. It just might be his fetish. He might not be looking at it as sexual. He'd be like, food. Or maybe he jealous. Maybe he like, this little motherfucker get to suck on titties and I can't. I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna wait till she sleep. Because I mean, ain't no way for me to ask, hey babe, can you nurse me like you do the young one, Junior?
Oh my God.
And you can't do that shit.
Commented that said that this is a fetish of his and his woman into it. That's fine. The issue is not now. Do I think it's the fetish is weird? To me, yes. But again, I'm not gonna keep shaming nobody. But it ain't even about the fetish. It's about the fact that he did this while she was not conscious. That's not okay. You can't do that. It's not how that works. You cannot do that. Your husband's creepy. Fucking talk to him about that shit. 100%.
All right. That's just wild. Don't do that. Bad idea. All right. Last letter. My boyfriend, 28, wants me, 27, to take a dump in front of him to prove that I'm not cheating.
Okay. I just need to know the details of this one. What?
All right. Let's see what they're talking about. I've been with my boyfriend for just over a year now. I live alone and he frequently spends the night at my apartment. We have a healthy, trusting relationship. However, I'm aware that his previous girlfriend cheated on him. Prior to this week, he has never expressed any lack of trust in me. My apartment is fairly old, so it takes a while for the water to heat up. Sometimes while I'm waiting for the shower to get warm, I take a dump. I don't want to flush the toilet and screw up the water temperature, so I'll take a dump, shower, and then flush the toilet. A few days ago, I spent longer than usual washing my hair and just completely forgot to flush when I left the shower. I know I'm a wild animal who deserves to live on a barn. Let's move on. Anyway, my boyfriend came over later that night. He went to the bathroom, stayed in there for a few minutes without making any sound, and he emerged with a completely dead look on his face. He asked whose shit was in the toilet. I was mortified and explained that I had forgotten to flush, but he just kept asking whose shit it was to the point where it became obvious he wasn't trying to tease me. Then he said, "What guy shit in your toilet?" By now, I was completely bewildered. I told him again that I had just forgotten to flush. He replied that I was a liar and that no girl could take a dump that big. He was completely serious. I couldn't believe I was in this conversation. I couldn't even get upset or angry. I just said like an idiot, but it's my shit. My boyfriend walked out without another word and ignored my calls for the rest of the night. The next day, he agreed to meet for lunch. He apologized for leaving in such a rush, but he said he still couldn't believe me when I said it was my own shit. He said he was willing to give me a second chance if I could prove it. I didn't really understand what he was getting at, so he elaborated that he wanted me to take a dump in front of him to prove my shit actually looked like that. That was yesterday. I have absolutely no idea what to do. I guess we could compromise and I could take a dump in the toilet, then call him to see it. But this is just too weird and bizarre and gross. I seriously love this man, but I'm honestly at a complete loss. He's made it clear that this is a deal breaker for him. Too long didn't read. My boyfriend would dump me if I don't take a dump. How on earth do I handle this? There's no way this shit is fake. This is way too specific to be real.
I can't breathe.
He's like, "This is not your shit."
Oh my God, girl. Oh, he had some very heavy trust issues.
It's real bad. He was looking for something to define as she cheating on me. He was looking for something.
Like, of all, shit is shit. Like, what's a girl shit and what's a boy shit? Like, excrement is what it is. Like, okay, for example, with dogs, if you have a girl dog, if you have a boy dog, the size of the dog, like the dog shit is not going. I can't go outside at a dog park and be like, oh, that was some girl dog shit. That's not how that works. And the fact that he goes in the bathroom and that's the conclusion he could. If I walked in somebody's bathroom and they had flush, I would just be like, and flush the toilet. He went in there and was like, it's been some nigga in here shitting.
I mean,
It is a deal breaker for him. If this a deal breaker for you, if me shitting to prove that the shit you saw in my toilet was my shit is a deal breaker for you, break up with me now. Go ahead. Go right on ahead, because I'm not doing it. The fuck? Because this is asinine. And what happens the next thing that he gets insecure about? Like how much are you willing to do to put him at ease when these situations happen? Because this is like extreme.
very. I need you to take a shit in front of me to prove that you are faithful.
And the fact that he dead ass serious. He dead ass serious. What?
I guess he saw a big ass dump. Like, them turds too big for your small frame, man. Even though food processes in the body the same way, you know.
Yeah.
Like, people can have big dumps, man. I mean, that.
It's just so ridiculous. Like, I would have busted. He would have been mad as fuck at me because the response that I just had would have been the response I had in front of him. Like, nigga, you got to be kidding me. Like, you got to be joking. You cannot be serious right now. You can't be.
Shit's ridiculous, man. But
I just.
I mean, I guess it ain't bad enough to leave a motherfucker, but yeah.
It's not bad enough to leave,
You
but if
choose
he's
not to
saying,
shit.
yeah.
If you choose not to shit and he's saying he gonna leave you if you don't shit, then that's worth letting it go. Girl, I ain't finna shit in front of you. Well, you cheating. Well, you cheating, bitch. You cheating ass bitch. Wait. Like, imagine him telling his friends, listen, man, what happened to you and Sarah, man? Listen, man, I came in the house and there was evidence that a guy had been there. Really? What did you find? Bruh, it was a shit in the toilet. What? Wait a minute. What? How do you know it wasn't hers? Man, it was a big shit. Man, my mom used to take big shits. Like, women can take big shits, bro. But you should have seen this one, man. It was, I'm just telling you. Stink, man. Smelled like man shit. You know how the difference between man shit and woman shit smell? Seriously? You a sick man. What's wrong with you? Maybe he got a fucking ass shit fetish that he's trying to figure out, and this is just his way of trying to introduce her to it.
No.
Look, you need to shit in front of me, otherwise you're cheating. And he just rubbing his hands like, yeah.
No,
Shit in front of me wasn't bad, was it? It wasn't bad, was it? I know you ain't cheating, but you know what? Maybe we should do this once a week.
I don't think so. I think that he is somebody who has some very, very deep issues from his past relationships being cheated on. That he just looking around every fucking corner, or as it in this case in the toilet, for any evidence that he being cheated on. Like, this is extreme. Oh my God, I would die. Like, I would have laughed. He would have been mad at me because I can't take, you want me to take this serious? Like, you really mad? I can't. Oh, you know what? Kudos to you, sir. You won the Reddit post for today.
Yeah, that was wild.
I cannot top that.
Imagine how surprised you would be if that shit happened to you. You probably would never forget to flush the toilet, but
the thing is, I feel like I would have this exact risk because it's so ridiculous. Like, you can't be serious. You serious? You really serious right now? If you don't get out of my house.
like, imagine the moment that she thought he was joking, like, oh yeah, okay. And then he just stood there with that serious face on, and she was like, You serious? Have you used this technique before to determine infidelity?
I can't. Oh man, that one couldn't breathe.
Anyway, that's all we got for today. We got some news out the way. We got some letters out the way. We did some poetry, and we got some letters. I mean, shit, Reddit letters. I mean, can't. You know better than that, goddamn.
We did it all. If you have a question or a Reddit post you'd like for us to read, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com. Or you can find us on Facebook, or you can find us on social media, as we've had people do that before and send it. So,
Do you got anything else on your mind?
I cannot follow that up with nothing else. Just let's leave it on that.
Well, until we come to the next conversation,
We out.
holla!